Welcome back to our conversation. Today I want to address some concerning news about injuries related to a player, especially the injury he faced during the playoffs last January. This could be a crucial factor that influenced the team's decision to move their draft position from 32 to 31 in a trade with another franchise, aiming to select a linebacker and edge rusher in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft. This fact truly sets the stage for what we will discuss next, as it is closely tied to an injury that has affected several athletes throughout NFL history. It is the same injury that the player is recovering from, a patella tendon injury, considered one of the most serious injuries an athlete can suffer. Patella tendon and Achilles tendon injuries are extremely serious, often requiring surgical procedures and long periods of rehabilitation, which, when mentioned in the context of a professional athlete, or anyone really, raise concerns, indicating that the recovery process will be long and complicated. The Achilles tendon injury has gained attention recently when a player from an NBA team suffered a tear during a game. Now, bringing the focus back to football, there was a comment from a reporter last week about another team releasing a former second-round draft pick, a defensive end. Due to failing a physical examination, he is still undergoing rehabilitation for a knee injury, but is expected to recover in time for the start of training. This injury dates back to 2023, and he has not played since then. This patella tendon issue is especially sad considering he was the 61st overall pick in the 2022 draft. Throughout his career, he managed only 6 sacks in 23 games. His trajectory took an unfortunate turn as he came from a renowned university with a strong NFL lineage, as his father was a prominent athlete. He was the 68th overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft and recorded just 6 sacks in 23 games during his career. This is truly disappointing, as when he left university, his family had a strong history in the NFL, with his father being a solid player. He showed somewhat raw development during his time at university. However, his length, wingspan, and flexibility were evident, physical traits that could translate into an effective pass rusher in this league. For him, there were moments where he showed strong performance on the field. In a limited sample, he managed a few sacks, I believe 3 in a span of 4 games as a rookie. In his second year, he had 3 sacks in the opening game against a strong team. Unfortunately, after that, we heard little more about his performance. At just 24 years old, standing 6 feet 4 inches tall and weighing 273 pounds, he is still struggling to recover from patella tendon surgery. Looking back at last season, there were discussions about a talented safety from an NFL team who stepped in to replace a teammate and performed well. He also faced the same injury that affected other athletes injured in January during a game against a rival. More information about the details of that injury, along with some data and research, is available. Studies show that NFL players who undergo patella tendon repair have lower return to play rates compared to other injuries. Full recovery from the surgery can take up to 12 months, and some players may not return to their pre-injury performance. Even after surgery, athletes may face a decline in performance levels after the initial recovery phase. The patella tendon connects the quadriceps muscle in the thigh to the tibia, allowing the knee to flex and extend. Given its fundamental role in running and cutting, it is common for strength and explosiveness to return at reduced levels. Patella tendon injuries, including ruptures and tears, represent a significant concern for NFL players, often causing considerable setbacks in their careers. Although a tear does not necessarily mean the end of a career, the injury deeply impacts performance and return to play rates, with studies showing that only about 50% of players are able to return to their pre-injury form. Some relevant observations. Concerns about injuries are a serious matter for NFL athletes, often resulting in significant setbacks in their careers. Although an injury does not necessarily mean the end of a career, it profoundly affects performance and the chances of returning to the field, with studies showing that only about half of athletes reach their pre-injury level again. This statistic is alarming, especially for those who have dealt with such issues throughout the league's history. Additionally, it is essential to consider the specifics of different injuries and the surgical procedures involved. For example, the injury affecting the quadriceps attached to the shin. When talking about an Achilles tendon rupture, the athlete needs to avoid putting weight on it for a period, but can eventually wear a boot and begin moving around. ACL injuries are intriguing, as there are cases where players continue playing, even with a damaged ligament. It is interesting to note that some athletes manage to perform in challenging situations. One example is a quarterback who played last season despite suffering an ACL tear. There are other similar cases. And even in the face of such an injury, sometimes individuals can stay active. A university linebacker selected by an NFL team is an example of an exceptional athlete who does not have an ACL. Therefore, in ACL injury situations, it is possible to walk and even run. However, a patella tendon rupture requires the athlete to remain completely weightless. Even if you try to strengthen part of the leg, it is not feasible, as it is necessary to remain still, ensuring that the quadriceps, knee, and shin rest. Later muscular strengthening in all these regions must be focused on. Recovery time must also be considered. Players can return in about 12 months. Unfortunately, for an athlete who performed exceptionally the previous year, the injury happened in January. Therefore, it is unclear when he will be able to return or if he will reach the same level of performance. Additionally, he is about to complete the final year of his rookie contract after being drafted in the 3rd round a few years ago, now heading into his 4th season. Significant patella tendon injuries that have impacted the careers of some athletes are remembered, such as one player who suffered this injury on the field and was never able to return to his previous level, just like another who was truly talented. We are in the 4th year. There are other notable patella tendon injuries that have significantly impacted players' careers. One case involves an athlete who suffered this injury on the field and could never recover his previous performance. The same applies to a player who was a standout strong running back in his prime. Additionally, a linebacker from a renowned team also experienced this injury and did not have an effective recovery. It is essential to maintain hope that the player can return. He is an admired athlete and exciting to watch, recognized as one of the best linebackers in college football. It took a while after his time in college for him to establish himself in the NFL, but he found his rhythm last season. Alongside a teammate, they formed one of the most effective linebacker duos in the league. This player also plays a significant role in the locker room. He mentioned at an important event that he wants to return better than ever, and I truly hope that happens. The goal is to share this perspective along with relevant data and historical context about this injury to keep everyone updated. Looking ahead, we can discuss the possibility of standout performance. Although he performed solidly, he faced challenges in some areas of the game, reflected in his rankings. However, his overall performance was remarkable, placing him in a good position among other athletes at his position. He stood out in several statistics, showing effectiveness in his defensive actions. Additionally, important updates are scheduled to be released soon, with a complete team schedule being announced. This will certainly be something to keep an eye on. If anyone is looking for an item related to the team, there are opportunities to explore available options. Fanatics. All you need to do is use the link below, chatports.com/Eagles jersey, to get your Eagles jersey in time for the 2025 season. If a jersey is not what you're looking for, this link will still be useful. It will direct you to Fanatics, which will recognize that you were referred by Chase Senior, Eagles, and Chatport. You will find t-shirts, polos, hoodies, Super Bowl products, and everything else you desire. All of this is available because our partners at Fanatics are offering you a variety of options. Regarding the jerseys, there are current and former player models in the away white color, dark green for the home team, as well as black jerseys, which I also like, and the stylish Kelly green jerseys. Get your jerseys today at chatports.com/Eagles jersey. Now about Nico's injury, its severity, and recovery time. The events in January may have influenced the Eagles' decision to select Jihad Campbell with the 31st pick in the first round. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the EU comments below. In a stunning development that has sent shockwaves through the NFL community, rumors have emerged that the Philadelphia Eagles have traded star wide receiver A.J. Brown to their fierce divisional rivals, the Dallas Cowboys. While the deal has yet to be officially confirmed by either team, multiple sources close to the situation suggest that talks have progressed significantly and an announcement may be imminent. The rumored trade, which has caught fans and analysts alike completely off guard, would mark one of the boldest and most controversial moves in recent league history. A.J. Brown, considered one of the premier wideouts in the NFL, signed a massive extension with the Eagles just last year and has been a central figure in their offensive scheme. His chemistry with quarterback Jalen Hurts and his explosive playmaking ability made him a cornerstone of Philadelphia's recent success, including their deep playoff run in the 2022 season. What makes this potential trade even more shocking is the destination, the Dallas Cowboys. The rivalry between the Eagles and Cowboys is among the most bitter and historic in all of sports, and the idea of a player of Brown's caliber switching sides is almost unthinkable. Cowboys fans are already buzzing with excitement at the prospect of pairing Brown with quarterback Dak Prescott and star receiver CeeDee Lamb, creating one of the most formidable offensive trios in the league. Speculation is rampant about what Philadelphia would receive in return. Early rumors suggest a package involving multiple first-round draft picks and possibly a young defensive star, though nothing has been confirmed. Analysts are divided on the wisdom of the move. Some argue the Eagles are looking to reset and retool, while others see it as a potential misstep that could haunt them for years to come. As social media erupts and fan bases clash online, the NFL world waits for official confirmation. If true, this trade would not only alter the balance of power in the NFC East, but also set a new precedent for high-profile intra-division trades. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.